component manufacturing. And the South African owes quite a substantial amount for a small economy like ours. It continues to blaze a trail in strategic economic markets on our continent. In North America, in Europe. The automotive industry is also a major employer in our country, and that in itself places it in a very special position for an industry that employs collectively some 500,000 people. Means that it is an industry that should be taken seriously, not only because it is a manufacturing center, but because it employs a good number of people. So we're delighted about that, because it spans quite a number of subsectors: the retail, manufacturing, and a number of other sectors as well. The sector continues to actively support transformation. As you may well know, that is a very important objective, policy objective, set out by the government that I lead. Since it was established in 2021, the Automotive Transformation Fund has supported a number of beneficiaries, and we're really delighted about access for black-owned as well as female-owned firms to the value of 4 billion and supporting. This year marks 100 years of vehicle manufacturing in South Africa. This is a milestone that needs to be celebrated. Since the first model T Ford rolled off the assembly line in the Ford plant in Port Elizabeth, Gqeberha today, in 1924, South Africa's automotive manufacturing footprint has expanded exponentially. International auto companies are major investors in the South African economy. They have consistently featured prominently at the annual South African Investment Conference, which we inaugurated in 2018. Over the past few years, these companies have invested an average of some 8 billion rand a year. And we're really delighted that they come up to the stage and join a number of companies that make pledges. And I'm pleased to say that the pledges that are made by a number of auto companies are pledges that move from pledge to real investment in plants, in new plants, and in improvement of plants. Component suppliers have invested a considerable amount of money as well, some 4 billion rand on average a year. Industry giants like Ford, VW, BMW, Toyota, and others continue to demonstrate real confidence in our economy by expanding and upgrading existing operations. And from humble beginnings a century ago, this industry has shown remarkable resilience. The success of the automotive sector since the advent of our democracy is testament to the success of transformative industrial policy. And I'm particularly pleased that we have former Minister of Trade and Industry, as it was called then, now in Trade, Industry and Competition, Alec Irving, who used to be a comrade. I don't know whether You are still called comrade in the corporate world, a comrade in the trade union movement, but we're delighted that he's here, and as I entered, I stopped to give him a nice hug, because he indeed is the pioneer, one of the key actors who enabled this industry to be repositioned to where it is today. We have pursued an industrial policy underpinned by increased value addition. And through our support programs and master plan, we have striven to ensure that the automotive sector is stronger, globally competitive, and transformed. Through the automotive master plan, we aim to increase the industry's contribution to global production and increase local content to about 60%. We aim to bring new companies into the value chain and increase value addition as well. Yet, even as we can celebrate the achievements of the last 100 years, the industry still faces considerable headwinds. Like all manufacturing, the auto industry was hit very hard by COVID-19. Global tensions and international conflicts have also disrupted supply chains. The global transition towards decarbonization presents a fundamental challenge to the industry as well. And the transition towards cleaner and markets puts a number of automotive firms and sub-industries in what one could say vulnerable positions. Even as the journey to net zero poses a challenge for the auto industry, there is, at the same time, what I would call immense opportunity. The local automotive sector needs to position itself to take advantage for the demand I had occasion to visit China a few weeks ago. I also in New Zealand offered. I was terrified and I said no. But the allure of being in a car without and just you driving the car with gadgets was great, but I was terrified. So the transition to cleaner, more sustainable practices in the automotive industry is a priority for our government. The automotive industry has a critical role to play in achieving South Africa's climate targets. We are committed to working hand in hand with the private sector to promote the production of new energy vehicles and the development of the necessary infrastructure to support them. In the opening of Parliament address in July this year, I said that South Africa will look to beneficiate more of our critical minerals instead of them leaving our country in raw form. Treasury and the Department of Mineral and Petroleum Resources are in conversation about implementing the electric vehicle white paper. This work includes the beneficiation of our critical minerals for the production of the new energy vehicles and their associated value chains. It also includes the production of batteries for battery electric vehicles and the development of value chains in the green hydrogen fuel cell market. We are working to finalize comprehensive NEV policy guidelines that do not exclude alternative technologies such as hybrids and plug-in hybrids. So consideration must be given to incentives for manufacturers, as well as what will please you, tax rebates or subsidies for consumers to accelerate uptake of electric vehicles. This is not just about creating a green, about ensuring South Africa remains competitive in the global market. As many of our major trading partners rapidly shift towards EVs, it is also imperative that we remain part of this global supply chain. If we don't, we will be left behind. This is a major industrialization opportunity for our country and the region as well, particularly within the context of the African Continental Free Trade Area. This will position South Africa as a forward-thinking green economy. It will advance our aspirations to be already underway, all of which revitalize the Port of Durban. It is also proceeding with the upgrade of the Gauteng Eastern Cape Railway line as part of Project Ukuzivuselela. As the government of national unity, Mr. Mabasa was boasting to me. I was saying you were talking about the government of national unity yesterday. So as I came in, they were briefing me for a while, and he was boasting that, Mr. President, we have a government of national unity, and I run it, pointing to himself. And I said, how come? He says, I have 56 companies that compete with each other. So I'm the head of this government of national unity. So I said, okay, you beat me then. Maybe you should come do my job, because I only have 10. So it made me waiting on the wings to compete to be president of South Africa soon. But as a government of national unity, we have prioritized inclusive economic growth and job creation. When we signed our statement of intent amongst the 10 parties, we put economic growth and job creation as the #1 priority. We look forward to deepening our collaboration as government, industry, and labor to achieve both these objectives. There may be headwinds, and there will always be headwinds, and there will be challenges at the same time. But challenges, much as they are there also lie opportunities side by side. It is up to business to take up these opportunities to grow and to harness them and to expand and to transform. And when it comes to transformation, I should say you are one of those industries that I have found to be forward-looking when it comes to transformation, not only in your use of technology, but in your commitment to skilling and upskilling a number of people who work in your industry. Some years ago, I was rather pleased to have heard that trained here, who were black, were exported to Germany to go and teach German workers about the makeup of one of Germany's prized vehicles, and it had been sent to Germany to go and show German workers about the German product that it originated in Germany, how it committed to supporting you to support to our GDP and employing so many workers. And we want to see more and more people getting employment in your industry. And we want to see more and more transformation, so that they also file in your deliberations and forward to the productive outcomes of SA Auto Week.
Your commitment and your government's commitment to this automotive sector. Right, we're going to take a quick